Tonight, the Deputy Prime Minister arrives in town with ideas to bring more public servants to the top end. Why a family on the trip of a lifetime is stranded in Adelaide River. What's caused this shocking mass fish kill? A crackdown on excessive credit card fees and the loophole that's still costing you money. And get your engines ready, rev heads descend on the Red Centre.
This is 9 News with Henry Jones.
Good evening. The Deputy Prime Minister has spent the day in Darwin discussing ways to develop and boost the North's population. It comes as a major project took a significant step forward, with Project Sea Dragon now almost a reality.
With his akubra on and dressed in a suit and tie, Barnaby Joyce was feeling the territory heat. Kathryn Gazzola, 9 News.
A man will face court on Monday after allegedly glassing a woman in an Alice Springs pub. Police say the assault happened just before midday yesterday at the Gapview Hotel. The man is accused of striking her with 2 glasses. She was taken to hospital with facial injuries. The 37-year-old's charges include aggravated assault and possessing a dangerous drug. A 22-year-old man is lucky to be alive after rolling his road train on the Stewart Highway north of Elliot yesterday. A passenger managed to free themselves from the wreckage, but the driver was trapped. A medic from a local mine, Elliot Health Clinic staff, a volunteer fire brigade and police soon arrived to help free the young man. He was airlifted by care flight to RDH in a stable condition. Imagine planning a family road trip around Australia only to unwillingly get stuck in one spot for 6 weeks. That's the reality for a New South Wales family in Adelaide River after they took their car in for what was meant to be a routine inspection.
They'd planned the holiday of a lifetime.
We started in February. We left from New South Wales Central Coast.
But it got ugly after they booked their car in for a routine inspection at Ultratune Palmerston.
Cashless debit cards to stop taxpayers' money being spent on alcohol and drugs are likely to be rolled out in cities after success in regional areas. The government's announced a 3rd trial site, saying there's no reason it can't be expanded.
Malcolm Turnbull calls it an act of love and compassion.
Thousands of people have arrived in Alice Springs for the ultimate festival of wills. Kathryn Foran is there, and amongst it all, Kathryn, what's happening?
Henry, it might be the Red Centre, but right now it's more like the Rev Centre. Thousands of motor enthusiasts are here for the Red Centre Nats. Behind me, around 700 vehicles are taking part in a street parade. It's the largest in the country too, but as you can imagine, it was much cooler here than in the top end. Let's have a look at what Darwin was like today. There, it reached a top of 34 degrees. It was a bit stickier, the humidity 40% at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Another cool morning in the rural area. The mercury dipped just below 15 degrees, 36 at the top. And tomorrow's looking like a stellar day for the Red Centre Nats. Henry, I'll have all the details plus the full territory wrap later in the bulletin.
Kathryn, live in the Alice, thank you. In the news ahead, the union push to extend the fracking moratorium, but will the Chief Minister give in? A wild deer's rampage in a funeral parlour. And Manly coach Trent Barrett claims Seagulls have regained their killer instinct ahead of their clash with Penrith. Michael and Fadi Ibrahim are set to be extradited to Australia from Dubai. The brothers of well-known Sydney identity John Ibrahim were arrested in the UAE. Kathleen is back with more sport. Kathleen, Friday night footy will be a little bit tougher for one eel tonight.
It will, Henry. One player has gone through a pretty shocking week. I'll tell you who next. Plus, is Broncos captain Darius Boyd out of the finals? The AFL-NT finally clarifies what it means to be a fly-in player just weeks before the season kicks off. And is it sayonara to our World Cup dream?
Tonight's Sports Report is proudly brought to you by Harvey Norman Electrical. Shop with confidence. Shop online and collect from the store.
The Eels can go a long way to converting their first finals appearance in 9 years into a drought-breaking premiership if they overcome the Rabbitohs at ANZ Stadium tonight. It'll be a tough match for Corey Norman, who'll take the field with a heavy heart. The Eels half was good friends with Reece Clark, who passed away on the Gold Coast this week, And Henry, that is the day's sport.
Kathleen, thank you. Kathryn's back now with more weather. Kathryn, it's a spectacular background there at Anzac Hill. How's the weekend looking down there?
Henry, it'll be chilly overnight but beautiful and clear during the day. After the break, I'll have all the weather details live from Alice Springs. Welcome back. It was a lovely dry day here at Alice Springs, but now that the sun has set, it's starting to feel pretty cold. So the temperature is 23 degrees here in the Alice, but it actually feels like 18. Up in Darwin, it's a balmy 27 degrees with 67% humidity. It was a warm and sunny day in the city, 34 degrees the top. Last night was a bit cooler than predicted, not that anyone's complaining, dropping just under 20 degrees. The first day of September was hot inland. The mercury soared to 37 degrees at Middle Point. Thankfully, it was fairly dry, sitting on 19% at 3 this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine around the territory today, 32 the top in Nhulunbuy, 35 in Kathryn, and a warm one in Yulara. It'll be wet and it'll be a wet and windy start to the weekend in Melbourne, heading for 17 degrees, partly cloudy in Canberra, 18, and a sunny spring day ahead for Sydney, 22. I'll be glad I packed my coat. It'll drop to 8 degrees tonight in Alice, heading for a warm 32 tomorrow. Tennant Creek's heading for 33, 31 in Nhulunbuy. On the harbour, seas will be below 1 metre, winds easterly below 10 knots, becoming northwesterly 10 to 15 knots in the middle of the day. Our highest tide will wash in early tomorrow morning at 5.4 metres. Sunrise won't be long after at 6:49. If you're planning on making the most of the neap tides tomorrow, the boys at Fishing and Outdoor World suggest Shoal Bay for muddies, or if you're keen for a run out to the oil rig, mackerel, queenies and trevally will all be biting. Otherwise, the mouth of Leaders Creek is producing good barra. Ian Patch is today's Catch of the Day winner after reeling in this monster Spanish mackerel at Bynoe Harbour, weighing around 13 kilos. It definitely deserves one of our prize packs. Great job, Ian. The rural area will head for a top of 35 degrees tomorrow. Identical temperatures in Palmerston with plenty of sunshine and some light winds. Unfortunately, we won't get below 21 degrees tonight before Darwin City climbs to a top of 33 during the day. And looking ahead, it'll get more humid in Darwin over the next few days as our overnight low sits between 21 and 22 degrees. Our maximums will get as high as 35 on Thursday and Friday, but it's certainly a different story here in Alice. A cool change is expected from Sunday. Henry?
Kathryn, thank you. Quick check of finance. Our market has ended the week slightly higher. Our dollar has also improved a little today, up against the major currencies. And that's 9 News this Friday. I'm Henry Jones. From all of us here, good night.